My deck sucks, my hand is gone, and I'm at 20 commander damage. The last one of these videos I made was on having the basics. I was just talking about, like, your deck's not going to work if you don't have mana ramp, removal, card draw, and applying that to my real life. Like, why do I feel so bad all the time? I don't have the basics. I don't have any self-confidence. I don't have any spirituality. I don't have any morals. I don't have anything, like, guiding me through life, and I don't have any experiences. Since making that video, I have started regularly going to therapy. I've started taking my medicine, exercising, trying to eat and drink a little bit better, attending church, and feeling a whole lot better. So in the hopes that these videos are some kind of precog that can just manifest things into reality, I'm going to do it again because your boy kind of needs some help. And just to kind of sum up me, because I always feel the need to, like, cushion myself to other people and be like, just so you don't think I'm crazy. The way my brain works, you know Abed from Community? He's like me for real. I engage with media very heavily on how to, like, understand how humans work, because I don't really like to do all the stuff a normal human does. I'm not really into relationships. I'm not into money. I'm not into cars. I'm not into, like, women power control. Not really into any of that. So vicariously seeing those things through media is probably my best understanding of those kind of things. And in the same vein, viewing my real life problems through media or through magic is a really good way for me to kind of understand and grasp these problems I'm dealing with better. So that's what we're doing again. I might not be looking at you guys during this next part because I want to make sure I get the words right. A good starting point, I guess, would be just to express the feelings I'm going through. So since I was in preschool, I've had severe hypochondria, separation, health anxiety, depression. This has just always been a part of me. Everything I engage with, I put through a lens of anxiety. I put through the lens of how could I ruin this? How could something go wrong in my body that could ruin this for everybody? Or how could something debilitating happen to me in this moment? I've also suffered with really bad bouts of depression and negative self-talk. Now that I've been starting to go to therapy and take my medicine and work on my spirituality, it feels like a war has started, which is even more frustrating because when you start making the right moves in life, you expect it to be like, I'm doing the polar opposite of what I was doing, so I should feel the polar opposite of how I felt, which is not how it goes. These are when the gears start grinding. This is when the friction starts happening, when big change happens, and that's probably when you feel the worst. And I go through these cycles of going up and down and up and down and up and down, and these bouts of anxiety and depression are even more frustrating in the midst of healing because it numbs the feeling of progress. It makes you feel like I haven't gone anywhere. There's the Smiths song, if you haven't heard it, I'll put a link to it in the description, called Still Ill, and it kind of sums this up perfect. It's like, does the body control the mind, or does the mind control the body? I don't know. And then the next lyric's like, am I still ill? Which is exactly how I feel on a day-to-day basis. It's like I've finally gotten through the war, I have conquered the demon, I am good. The enemy cannot hurt me anymore. And then the next thought I have is one filled with anxiety and depression. And then it asks the question, am I still ill? So right now I am going through one of those bouts of anxiety and depression, but there's a newfound like twist to it now that I have these tools that I can use. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Because in Magic, once you start getting better at it, you start realizing I'm going to need tools to deal with different strategies. The problems that my deck have against these other decks, I can put in tools to help me against those problems. That's the easy part. Adding the tools is the easy part. I have added the tools to my tool belt. I've started going to therapy. I've started going to church. I've started working on my morals, my spirituality, becoming a better person. Implementing them is where it becomes very hard because those neural pathways are dug in good and they are ready to fire off. The anxiety and the depression, those are easy to fire off. The happiness and positive thinking, I have to work to re-implement those pathways. I want this channel to be amazing. I want this to be a place where anybody can come, feel welcome, play Magic, talk about decks, build new cards, and find like a passion in life almost. I have so many plans for it, but the problem is there's a million other things that are in my head right now that I'm not sure where to start, so none of them get done. And I know that that's a common complaint that a lot of people have, but I think I might have figured out how to do it. I don't know if this makes sense, but I think it's an important thought that I would like as many people to hear as possible. When you view your problems in your life as symptoms, that's putting the cause of those problems outside of yourself. My headaches are a symptom of some disease I have. This like anguish and sadness in my heart is because someone did bad things to me. If you view all your problems as symptoms, they put them outside yourself, and there's nothing you can do to fix those problems. If you label your problems as outcomes to decisions you have made, you can begin to think about your problems linearly. And I don't know if that makes sense. When you think about them as symptoms, it becomes a cluster in your head. You don't even know where to start. Is my anxiety caused by my back cramps, or is my back cramps caused by my depression, or is my depression caused by my being inside too much, or is my being inside too much caused by my anxiety? And then there's the circle, and you don't know where to start. But if you view them as symptoms, why do I have anxiety? Because I sit inside so much. Why do I sit inside so much? Because I'm addicted to the computer. Okay, why are you addicted to the computer? Because I don't socialize with people very much. Why don't you socialize with people very much? Because I have negative outlooks on people. How could you fix that? Force positive outlooks on people. Force yourself to go out in public around people. Force yourself to do all these things that are uncomfortable. Weird. Now it's become a linear thing where I can work back to what is the first thing that is causing all this and attempt to fix it. And I have done that, and I don't want to get too deep and personal on this, but we are working on it. And it is hard. So please stick with me. It is really hard to turn this circular thought process into a linear one, because that's the only way I've thought my whole life. I need to talk to the church I've started attending because I need some questions answered. I need to save money, but I keep spending it on food or these stupid things. I need to remember when my next appointment is for my psychiatrist, for my doctor, for my therapist. My family's going through so much that my problems look like nothing in comparison, so I don't feel bad and I don't worry about them too much. I've missed my last 5 daily card highlights, which makes me feel like complete shit because I've done 100+ in a row, and one bout of anxiety and one bout of a lazy day or depressed day is making me do this. I haven't went live because every time I go live, I'm scared my jaw's gonna get tight, or my anxiety is gonna ruin it, or someone's gonna be like, "Are you sweating? Why are you talking like that? Why'd you stutter right there?" I'm 3 months behind on the giveaways for my channel. I could go buy the packs right now. I could go to the store, buy the packs right now, write the envelopes, and send them out. Why don't I do that? My brain tells me, and this isn't right, this isn't the true answer, my brain tells me it's because, we're trying to save money. Let's save a little money first, and then they'll understand, save a little money first, then we'll send out the giveaways. But if we don't send out the giveaways, you kind of look like a giant piece of crap, honestly. I don't have any money anyway because I'm spending them on these stupid things. I'm spending them on food. But is any of that important compared to my spiritual health and my spiritual well-being and me being a good person, my morals, and my family? Do I go live tonight? Did I take my medicine tonight? Do I have food that I can eat did I miss my appointment? Did I miss my therapist appointment? Did I take my medicine? Did I get sleep last night? Did I drink the right things? Did I exercise today? Did I meditate? Did I do this? Did I send out the giveaways? Did I upload correctly? Did I do my daily card highlight? It's all panned left. All my audio's panned left on the daily card highlight. That sucks. Why didn't I just buy the packs? Why don't I just go live? Why don't I eat better? Why don't I exercise? Because I'm tired. Like, I'm so tired by the thoughts, I just want to sleep. So you see the problem. And the question is, like, how do I apply what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling to magic to help me understand it more and to help me deal with it? And the only thing I can think of is me and my cousin were just talking about how we have a tendency to make decks, like, very fast. We make them very quick, like a day, maybe even a couple hours sometimes. We'll like have a new deck and we're like, come face this. And it doesn't play great. And there's probably been hundreds of decks, honestly, that never made the cut because they didn't play great the first game we played. And that's kind of how it feels right now. It feels like my brain's doing that with life, where I'm like, I put the tools in, and I don't feel better, and the gameplay is not improving. So they must not be working. But the thing about tools is you got to implement them. You got to use them. They're not just going to use themselves, which is really hard. So I had a moment when I was playing the other day, and I was like, wow, that's kind of a cool thought. You should apply that to real life. I was talking to my cousin about how I don't run tutors in my decks. One, because I think the fun of Commander is like the randomness. But two is I do run them if it's like one of my first or second games with a deck if it has access to black, because I have a lot of black tutors, just so I can play with some of the main cards in that deck that I was excited to play with. You know what I mean? Like if I put Strionic Resonator in a deck because my commander does something where it reacts so cool with that card, I would probably put tutors in that deck the first or second time I played it, just so I could tutor up Strionic and see if it belongs in the deck. And he was kind of like, really? Like, that's interesting. You don't keep running the tutors after you like the deck? And I'm like, no, I take the tutors out after I like the deck, because then I know the deck can fire off the way I want it to. Now it's just about like gameplay, randomness, strategy. It's about all the stuff that matters in Magic. So in real life, how do I tutor up the tools that I have now been given by all these different outlets and all these different bodies that I've started engaging with? I think the real life equivalent, sorry if that sounded terrible, of me tutoring out the tools just so I can use them is just forcing myself to do the things. Like, and I know that sounds like a cop-out answer almost, but it's true. I know what I need to be doing. Like, that's the thing that got me into all these positive avenues that I'm now engaging with. All it took me was asking myself, what is making me unhappy? What's the opposite of that? So I think that's all it takes now. What is making me still anxious? I'm alone in my room, not engaging with anybody, and I have nothing else to worry about besides myself. And that's what we talked about at the last service I went to, and I'm not going to get too into it because I don't want to Bible thump anybody. Anxiety and depression stems from there being no room in your brain for anybody else but yourself. And that really did speak to me, because I sit in my room alone all day and I have no real want to like engage with anybody. So of course I feel like this. Like, you look at how everybody was like quarantined for 3 years, and how crazy anxiety and depression and mental health has gotten. I mean, there's no way that that's not a correlation of just me being stuck in my room, everyone else being stuck in their room, and mental health being so severe. And it's so hard, because right now even my neural pathways that are firing off on fear and depression and anxiety are telling me all the reasons in my head why all this is bullshit, like why everything I'm saying isn't true, why none of this will work. And that's the hardest part, because I'm drawing my hand on the first game of this new deck that I've built, that is myself. And it is a terrible hand, and it feels like nobody will give me like a gentleman's. So the next game, I'm going to throw 8 tutors into this deck, just so I can guaranteed at least play one of the cards that I want to play. I don't know if this makes any sense. This is what sucks about my brain. I guess this is a good window into like how my thought processes work. And this is what I need to stop doing, is these thought processes of like so in-depth thinking about something that it drives me insane. Like, this deck doesn't work because of this. Like, I built this deck wrong. You played this wrong. This deck's just bad. You need to take it apart. This commander's just bad. There's better commanders. Not true. You have the tools. You're just not using them, or you just don't run enough tutors so that you've gotten to use them, so you know how to use them. So I need to get out of this room. You might see more content out in the real world, a little bit more public. I don't know. I can't promise what I'm going to be doing in the next few weeks. I can't even promise this is going to be uploaded. And I can't even promise that like half of you aren't going to leave because you're like, this guy's insane. This is just something that I felt like needed to get off my chest. And this video is interesting because I didn't really have a super solid Magic comparison to this. This is more of like a reaching out to almost to you guys a little bit and being like, help me understand how to reform some of these pathways, how to re-enter society and be a part of it while still being who I am. And I don't know if any of this makes sense. I don't know if this video makes sense at all, but I guess that's where the title comes in. My deck sucks, my hand's empty, and I'm at 20 commander damage. Like, I was close to the end, and it feels like I've restarted, and I still feel the same. So that's like hitting very heavy. But I'm moving past things quicker, and there are improvements in my life. And there are physical things that I can point to and say, that is something that is good that I'm doing. Which has never been a thing before for me. So, thank you guys for being like one of the biggest things that's positive. And please understand, this is almost my everyday. And none of this is malicious. None of the missed giveaways are malicious. None of the, like, not getting on Discord is malicious. Not posting on the Patreon. Like, I feel so bad about all that stuff because that's a promise I made to you guys, and I'm not keeping the promise. And that's just the blunt truth of it. There's no, like, cushioning it. There's no, like, you're going through a lot. It's fine. That's the blunt, honest truth of it. Like, I have ignored you guys for my own benefit in case scenarios, and I want to apologize. I guess that's the point of this video. We had to work to get there, but I guess that's how most things go for me. I kind of just info dump until I get to where I need to get. Is a big part of the therapy has been I've been having a lot of nightmares about my jaw locking up or my voice not working, and those are all nightmares associated with anxiety of, like, not telling people how you feel about something negative. So lately I have been telling people how I feel about certain negative things they do, and it's been extremely difficult conversations, but it has been some of the greatest conversations I've ever had, and I genuinely feel, like, reforged in a lot of these relationships, which is awesome. And I would love to feel that with you guys, because I just feel like I've kind of failed a little bit. And right when things started to get good, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to hit almost 3,000 subscribers. You guys engage so much. The daily card highlights have been starting to do so good. And that probably might be part of it. I might be afraid that they're starting to do good. So I guess that's the point of this video, is I am talking to myself until I can work some of this stuff out, and maybe it'll help you guys. Maybe it'll help someone out there. I don't know. I'm just sick of being so scared all the time and letting that ruin everything that I do. And I'm making an auditorial, visual promise that we are back on the daily card highlights. We are back on the live streams. We are going to be better. I'm going to be happier. I'm going to feel better. And this next year is going to be a completely different year for me. The Nyx Lotus pop off. So get ready for that. Just please understand I'm in a transitional period that is incredibly full of friction. And full of just hard. I have put the tools in my deck. I have put the tutors in my deck. It's just about taking that next step and tutoring up the tools and using them. And it's really scary because I've never done any of that. But we're doing all the things that I think are necessary to improve me, improve the channel, improve the people around me. And yeah, I don't want this to get too rambly because it's already been plenty of that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it made sense. It helps me to info dump and figure out why I have some of these thought processes that I have. I'll see you guys.